severe issues, and Ofnu just going to be dancing around. He's been confident so far as well.
Dancing around, ripping off heads, and Urcast, the poor guys, got absolutely destroyed there. And Dick Stacey behind the smoke in front of the molly and in front of Apox at crosshair, and he gets taken down. But these ecos have been pretty underwhelming here from Greyhounds. This is basically just biding their time until they get taken down by the CT side. But it just seems like Tainted are so aggressive at the moment. Zusi and Destiny just really harassing this inner players, not really giving their players towards outer any kind of chance to get any sort of foothold in the map control. It's basically those inner players are dying at that point in time, and when your inner players die, it makes it so awkward for you to be the player walking down secret. You know that all eyes are going to be trained on you, and it's really important for them to be able to get themselves into the round. No one getting picked for the first 45 seconds. Let your default work, let you get some map control, give Urcast the ability to make a call, make a read, make something on the fly. You can't be losing your life so early on here on the T side.
Yeah, and Burn managed to make his way past the Molotov before it spreads. And I wonder if Destiny is going to go aggressive for a third or fourth round in a row. I don't think he will, but hey, it's Destiny. It's just Destiny things. You think he's not going to push, he's just going to push again and again and again until he gets punished.
And then he'll push again.
And he'll push again, where he just goes, oh, I got unlucky, you know, missed a couple of my shots, unfortunate.
Yeah, and he doesn't miss.
Come on, man, you can't just be walking into Yams, or where are the flashbangs, where are the smoke grenades? There's not even a jump to kind of draw out a shot. They're just walking in one by one and just giving Tainted so many easy kills. Now, Zuzi will catch out Burn, who managed to sneak his way down. Urcast, though, lurking, has a little bit of an opportunity, but down to 34. Tainted are just playing this map superbly at the moment, and I'd say that that's because with Destiny kind of locking down that A position, it's allowed them so much flexibility and freedom.
Yeah, he's basically intimidated them off that upper bomb site. You see them just trying to work that flanks right there, and that's the terrifying thing about this Tainted Minds squad at the moment. You're trying to stay away from Destiny, and you're running straight into the welcoming arms of Yam there. And this outer split, trying to take into lower control, just hasn't been working for them at the moment. The only really round that they've won on that gun round was when they faked that, it hit that bomb site quick with a little bit of vigor and caught Destiny and Zusi off guard on that upper bomb site. But yeah, he's so nimble, he's so mobile with that AWP. You can't even really, you can't keep away from him. He's basically always one step ahead of you. He's always thinking on his feet. He's never going to the same spot. He's always being adaptive and kind of reactive to what he thinks they're going to be doing, and often he gets caught going across that right side. But again, just another eco out of the hands of Greyhounds. Let's see if they can do a little bit more on this. We've seen some pretty lackluster ecos from them so far, but Yam already picking up Dick Stacey is not the start that the Greyhounds wanted. He's
all 1 HP though, so it must have been a Deagle Dink at a distance. Yam's still alive and Dexed up, just barely missing Ofnu. Just barely, but sometimes that's all you need. They managed to make their way under, but they still need to make their way on the bomb site. And with pistols, gonna have to get very lucky with these kills. And Tainted Minds giving them a lot of respect right now.
Yeah, just holding their time. Not too sure what the hold is on lower, but they're just feeling it out at the moment. No rush to get this bomb down. Just clear some spots. It does look like the bomb's just about to go down, and that'd be a good little plant there from Greyhound. Build up their bank. It should mean that they'll be able to force out for the rest of the half if they continue to lose, but Gratisfaction. Herd going down the vent. Is he going to pick up Zusi? No. Zusi's just going to be able to clean him up. But just the bomb plant there, and Yam got a little deagle bullet to the head, but luckily he's lived for another round. And Greyhound, I'd love to see a pause here, have a little talk, have a little chat. They don't want this half to kind of run away from them. It's pretty demoralizing for you to come into your map pick on that T side and not really have anything to show for it. After what was a pretty convincing start, it does look like what they're doing at the moment hasn't been really working for him in any way. So have a little breather, talk about what's been going wrong, what you can do to change it, but it doesn't look like they're going to have a pause here. It just looks like Grat's going to go to see if he can find a pick towards outer.
This is the problem with picking Nuke. You can be a very good team on Nuke, but if you get surprised, then it could be a different story. And Burn managed to make his way to Mini very quickly, after maybe missing a brief window of opportunity, which may cost this Annex control and maybe the A bomb site control. He's still alive though, which is the better thing, and he's able to just fall back and buy some more time. And you can see Gratisfaction and Dexter, how scared they are of Destiny just playing aggressive one more time. And look at this, Destiny is just dancing around, holding an aggressive angle, knows that Greyhound are scared. And
who needs to hold the site?
Yeah, who needs to hold a site when you can just, take this lobby control, take this hut control. And just this advanced positioning as well. It's like a scouting position. You give so much territory and control. Gratisfaction slowly crawling up. So it looks like they may have suspected it. I mean, Destiny's been doing it for the last 5 or 6 rounds.
Great rest nest there for Graz Faction. That completely opens up this A-bomb site. Zeus is going to have to go massive here, splitting from all angles. Great flashes there for Dick Stacey to get that entry, and Grat getting another kill onto Yam. And much better round there, punishing Destiny for that, but Offnu getting one before getting traded out, and he's actually found himself into a pretty nifty position there before getting taken down, but I like that a lot better for him. Punishing Destiny's aggression, splitting onto that A-bomb site, being a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more forceful on outer. They've been doing those smokes, it hasn't really been working for him, so they said, hey, we don't need those smokes, let's just brute force it, and Offnu got isolated towards CT spawn, just from the sheer aggression of Burn getting into Annex, and better round there from Greyhound, but they need to string some more rounds together. I think they definitely need a 6-9 coming into their CT side.
Yep, 6-9 would be the golden mark. 5 would be passable.
Definitely would be. To be 50%.
Yeah. Exactly 50%, which is what they need on Nuke. As Yam is going to get the pick on B once again.
A lot of damage given to Burn as well, so not the start Greyhound had wanted after what was a pretty convincing round there on round 13, but there is a player down Secret. Nurcast does even the numbers up, which is very important there. That player dead on Secret is going to draw an extra rotation towards that lower bomb site, but Offnu is creeping out towards outer, sorry, and if Gratis Faction can punish him, and great awareness there from Gratis Faction to punish him. Okay, this is when they need to slow it down. They know that at this point, there's not going to be really solid rotations. There's going to be a bit of individual plays. You can punish them for us, but yeah, trading down the numbers 3v3, but Greyhound off the back of that are grouping up, going to be hitting this upper bomb site, and they're going to be walking straight into the crosshairs of Destiny up close towards this hut.
Yeah, but surely they check it this time, and Destiny's going to make contact. Still just going to be floating around. Dick Stacey is going to be busting out. Where's the backup? There's Zuzi. Great transfer. He's going to get traded out by Gratis Faction, who's going to go for a couple of chance shots, and Destiny is going to come straight down. Going to be asking, hey, boys, do you want a second AWP? Nah, okay, we'll just stick with one AWP. And we're coming into the final round of the half. Greyhound have nothing to work with. This has been a pretty dominating half from Tatum Mines. 11-4 would be probably the cherry on the cake. Or strawberry if you're allergic to cherries.
Or
bananas if you're allergic to strawberries and cherries.
What if you're allergic to milk?
It could be a milkless cake. I mean, there's gluten-free cakes these days. I'm fairly certain there's dairy-free cakes.
I thought you said milkshake, sorry.
Oh.
Cherry on the milkshake. I'm just out of it. First I thought you said P250 instead of P2K, and now I'm just basically making up things at this point in time. But good damage dealt to Offnu before. Yam again, just
through smoke.
Just the master of killing people first and AWPing through people through the smoke. But 4 players just going straight down. 3 players, sorry, just going straight down towards onto the Secret. But Dexter not aware that Zeus is on these back decon stairs. But Dick Stacey, good trade out there. And 3v3, they've got some good positional awareness here. But Destiny straight back. That non-stop aggression that we always see. But back into a 2v3 now.
Yeah, I mean, most positions where you go, oh, all right, so he's going to flash and drop back event. He just goes charging down, but this does allow Greyhound a little bit of space. So 2-on-3, Burns on 30, Dick Stacey on 88. And Dick Stacey just needs to take down APOC. This is probably the most influential one-on-one. If he's able to take down an APOC, then he's allowed to just give a little bit more space. But Burns going to catch a grenade. He's going to fall immediately. Now it's all down towards Dick Stacey. 1-on-3. He takes down APOC. Down to 56. He knows one back vent. He won't be able to take down Offnu, who crosses safely. And this will buy time for his teammates to get on the side. But no, Offnu checks it too late. Yam, he's sticking on the defuse. But no, Dick Stacey, the last bullet in the clip, will be able to take him out. And Greyhound will be able to get the 5. They'll be joined to the CT half after the break. Welcome back to the game. If you just missed it, make sure you go back and check that clip because it was a massive clutch coming out from Dick Stacey to earn Greyhound the 5 mark, which is the standard mark for the T side. And a pause already called. It looks like this is one of the first times I've actually seen Ferg so animated.
Yeah, obviously having a chat about what their game plan is for this T-pistol. If you aren't too prepared against... Obviously, they wouldn't have had too much reset into Greyhounds on a map. They probably didn't think that they were going to be playing as it had been their first veto for most of the event. But they're just having a little chat here. Just know that they've got those pauses in hand. Might as well use them now. Give Ferg a chance to speak, get his ideas across of what they should be doing for pistol round. make sure that everyone's on the same boat coming into this.
This actually makes me a little bit more worried because this is going back to me just being a horrible coach. This is back when, I think, ESL, AU, and NZ, when Avant were up against Kings. I didn't really say much for the first 4 maps. We went into Nuke, where the other players didn't have much of an idea. I started talking more. So
Why did you do
it's
that,
a little
Kraft?
bit more concerning because if it's Ferg, because Ferg this entire weekend he's more of a supportive coach. He does a lot of background work and he supports the boys when he's there. But when he starts talking, especially for a pistol round tack pause, it makes me a little bit concerned whether Tainted have the strategies. Well, they're going to be flooding the A bomb site. Maybe it's just raw firepower is a strategy that can work out in their favor as Burn, Gratisfaction, they're all in heaven, but there's Gratisfaction's head popped off. The kit's still available for the CTs to take. And Yam's going to go down. He was trying to jump up. It's not going to work out. 2 on 2. The CT's trying to go fast. Ofnu's going to find one. It's going to be digged out. Destiny's going to get the second kill. And Tainted Minds, a crucial pistol.
Well, that analogy that you gave about talking on Nuke obviously isn't applicable for Tainted Minds as they close out the pistol round. It looked very dominant there. Dick Stacey had absolutely no idea that they're going to get there so quickly. Caught off guard. He was lucky to get one, but at that point in time, all 3 players rotating through heaven is so awkward against that against that lower side. With USPs against Glocks and no head armor, it's so awkward playing that angle. And the boys on Tainted Minds were able to close it out after some nice couple binks there from Afternoon to close it out.
Tainted just going to play slowly. They have to respect the fact that Greyhound most likely will force up and still a lot of corners for them to clear out. Dexter just controlling a crucial position as Urcast is getting the first opening pick on Destiny. That's Destiny down. One of the guns lost. Gratisfaction does manage to take damage at Outers, and Tainted Minds just going to be grouping up. Burn's going to have to go huge with the Deagle. Tags him once, has a flashbang to work with. Might even be a decoy, but it is going to be a flashbang. Mive left a little bit too late. Won't be able to get out alive. It's APOC charging down. Correct decision from Tainted. You've sometimes just got to charge in fast. Should be able to hear one. Close Toxic. Oh, what? Oh my goodness. What is going on right now? Dex is going to strike, but he won't be able to get the second. Whoa, that Dick Stacey to swing wide. That was a little bit ridiculous, but somehow managed to make it work out.
That was
Yam's
the most 4x3 thing ever I've ever seen in my life. Dexter's praying to whatever god he prays to, and he has absolutely no idea how he's alive for that long. But Yam getting that bomb down on that lower bomb site. Greyhound have actually done a fairly decent job to get themselves into this round after a pretty shaky start. But nice shot there from Urcast, getting him into 2v1 against Zusi with low HP on ramps. What's he going to be able to do here?
He has to get the headshot on Urcast, but that is so sharp coming out from Urcast, and Greyhound managed to take a CT. A CT eco, should I say, on the back of some sharp shooting from Urcast. And that's the power of the 5.7 where you kind of want to retain it because at close range, it is that single bullet headshot. A value that I don't think many of the pistols now have against helmets.
Definitely. Oh,
yeah, I don't know what to make of that.
The door perfectly hit him too. It's like, you hate to see it, but I feel like Nuke is such a hard map for those T Annie ecos. It's so many little nooks and crannies that those pistols can play. And like you said, that 1Bs of that 5.7 of Urcast, so powerful.
Because he was able to get one in Destiny, so they're already a number down. And then Yam has to push to get information because he doesn't know where the other person is. And he just comes in the range. And now Tainted Minds just taking a few grenades. Maybe putting their hands up for the selection of the Australian cricket team. Because let's face it, anyone can join the Australian cricket team these days.
Well, too soon, man.
No, too soon, probably.
Mate, we're going to win the Ashes. Come on. A little bit of faith.
Well, maybe if after we make about 5 lineup changes and Burn just going to be anchoring ramps. You know I'm right with the lineup changes as well. You thought the Australian roster changes were severe. Take a look at the Ashes cricket team. That's probably more severe. But Tainted Minds, they managed to swindle their way down. And may be able to overwhelm Dexter and get the bomb plant down. Grenade goes flying. They're still pushing forward, and he's going to be shut out by the doors closing on him, and Dexter's going to line 2 up. That's going to be a clean sweep for Greyhound, keeping all guns up. Tainted Minds will get the bomb plant down, and therefore should be able to buy in the next round. They didn't invest too heavily in this round. So expect an AWP to be dropped in the hands of Yam from Destiny because he's got enough cash to do so. Or Yam could even go for it himself if he decides. Actually...
Why would he go for it himself when he can get his teammate to drop it? Or he could go for the 5 AK. It's understandable. I think that T-side of Nuke is so hard with those AWPs. You know, obviously you can go towards outers, position yourself towards ramps, get those long-range picks, but after that, you know, playing the post plants, you know, kind of moving into a site, taking it to the site as an AWP is very, very difficult. And if your team isn't kind of drilled in ways that it's making you proactive and kind of making you feel comfortable, it can be super, super difficult. But 4 players just grouped up early towards ramp, and they're all going to be facing young Burn, are you okay, very soon. So he's going to need to be hitting his shots if they want to be mounting a comeback on this CT side. But Zusi hears that sound cue straight through and straight into the head of Burn.
And this B site lost as well. And Urcast, if he's able to take down one, that'll be a solid effort. But there's 2 of them. Destiny. Oh my goodness. How does Urcast lose that? Destiny makes the most of it. And Dexter, a lot of work to do as a bomb plant's going to go down. And our favorite Dill Starly with the UMP, able to get one. Just reset to a 3-on-3, so the situation very equal. Destiny's low though. And the CTs, only flashbangs to work with, no smoke grenades. Similarly for Tainted Minds, a lot of flashbangs, they can just filter it through. 1 flashbang popped. The CT's now pushing out, and Destiny can't spray down one. Heavy damage done to Gratisfaction, and Zuzi gets 2 more. Now down to a 1 and 2. Dick Stacy, last man left standing, pushing fast to the UMP. Has a kit, but has to go big. Gets 1, but won't be able to get a second. Big round from Zuzi, 4 kills, and Tainted Minds bring themselves 1 closer to taking map number 1, but still a long road to be struggling up.
Zusi's just constantly coming up clutch all weekend long. Obviously has had his little bit of a breakaway from the game, and he hasn't really been hitting the peaks that we'd seen in the past. But he really has been coming up so massive in those pivotal rounds here for Tainted Minds. Always steps up when needed, and again he steps up. That one in that 3K there on the lower hold, really hurting the Greyhounds there. If they were able to close that one out, they might have been within a sniff of the Tainted Minds score. But now they're in a situation where if they lose one, they're going to be slipping further and further away from this map. And Destiny, trying to do Destiny things. Dick Stacy was cotton onto that. That smoke wasn't deep enough for him to get drowned to that vent. But on the other side of the map, the 4 players are just running down secret fast, and they're going to be running into a Dick Stacy themselves as well. So see how this one's going to play out.
He's just playing passive. Knows he doesn't need to peek out. He can get information. A 1-for-1 trade, but Yam comes back and actually takes him out. And nearly takes down Urcast. But he'll get the better of Yam for now. It's going to be a 3-on-2 numbers advantage for Greyhound, but APOC, that's a decent grenade, but it doesn't do enough really to justify the time taken to get the bomb down. There's everyone watching every single angle. Good thing for Tainted Minds, they have time to chew up, and the more time they buy, maybe they can try to, you know, sell out Greyhound Gaming, but it's not going to work because Ofnu reveals himself to Gratisfaction. Burn cleans it up. Tainted Minds might be on a double eco.
Good recovery there. Off the back of Dick Stacy again, that opening fag, and they've hard reset Tainted Minds here. Are they going to force back into this one? They're going to have to double save by the look of it, unless they can get the bomb down in this round. Obviously having a pause, thinking about it at the moment. No, they're just going to get a couple PT50s and a deagle. No, APOC does invest in armor, so they are going to have to double save, but must be wanting to get towards that AWP on the side of Yam. And they actually have had a decent amount of success on these ecos, more than we saw on Greyhound on that first half, but Greyhound need to make this one clean and clinical, build up that bank for that CT side comeback.
Dick Stacy maybe a bit of pressure, but APOC able to make his way forward and once again making the P250 work, but the numbers, the CTs will just all come together. A band of brothers chiming in to trade out Dexter, and Yam, not much they can really do. Bombs lost only with the Glock in hand. I mean, it's been buffed, but you still, you have to be very, very hopeful, and Burn can kind of sit here and just chip away. Actually, that's 1 dink, that's 2 dinks. Okay, I spoke too soon, Glock. 3 shots, and Burn still at 9 HP. He's going to spray to try to master push, and it almost works out. Urcast just holding his ground. Knows he doesn't need to be nervous anymore. And Burn might actually lose his life if Yam's able to get the flick, but not this time. That was some good shooting from Yam, though. Burn
definitely had enough of that game from Yam strafing back and forth, and still terrible money across the board. Are they going to force into this one? I think they should and will save 1 more. But they are going to invest a couple smokes, maybe some sort of smoke wall towards outer, see if they can get the bomb down, maybe cause a little bit of distractions, a little bit of chaos on the side of Greyhound, but it is starting to look a little bit better here on the CT side after what was a shaky T side start to the map for Greyhound.
Yeah, I mean, we normally expect a shakier T side for the CTs, and Dick Stacy has to be cautious. Kazuzi, 1B, and he's too good. Gratisfaction does answer, but a 4-on-4. And Zuzi, oh my goodness, Zuzi somehow has come out and gotten another kill, but not before Urcast finds 2. And Zuzi, another deagle kill. I'm absolutely loving it right now. He hasn't even reloaded his deagle. He doesn't need to. Okay, he finally does decide to do so, but by the time he pulls out the HE, they're going to push. If you kept the Deagle out, maybe a few more headshots. Good damage, though, because that keeps the CT economy honest. And Tendermine's going to be calling a attack pause. I wouldn't be surprised to maybe see Ferg giving a little bit more input this time around. And this is what I mean, because this entire weekend, once again, we haven't seen Ferg actually give that much input. But this time around, he's the one calling it, because maybe he's got some better ideas. If this Mine's lineup has not practiced that much on the T side, they are going to be a little bit lost and floundering around. I need a little bit of direction. And Ferg may just have experience to do so, and just bouncing things off Yam at the moment.
I feel like we're taking a decent amount away from what kind of Ferg brings to the table. I have seen him like in between the games and in between the maps. He has been talking a lot to the guys, kind of, you know, just keeping their heads in the game. Obviously talking about what the strengths were of the game and kind of just giving that like retrospective feedback for them and with these micro adjustments. And Zeusy, what a round from him here, and especially these last couple of kills, especially the one on Dexter. Dexter really needed to kill him here. Great damage there from that T side with not much in the way of investment, but I think Ferg does bring a lot to the table.
I just mean in the sense that normally you don't see him talking at the stage, if that makes any sense. Like, he obviously gives a lot, but normally it's, you know, the post-action or before the battle begins, not during the battle. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. It's just what happened last time, and APOC will be able to just duck his way around the incendiary grenade. As Tendermine's just slowly taking map control. This is really nice to see because this offers a lot of potential for them to explode across the map. They don't need to commit hard anywhere. They can just wait around for the CTs to give them the opportunity. Dick Stacey takes a couple of bullets from Destiny. And you can see that the CTs are starting to get unsettled already, and this is going to be drawing the attention of Gratisfaction's AWP. He has to swing around different ways. As time is ticking. There's a single flashbang. It's not going to draw off the line, but this is much better from Yam as well as Offnu, because this is just, you know, shifting around. It's making the CTs unsettled. They can't hard commit anywhere just yet, but time is dwindling away, and Tendermine's a lot of utility to work with.
But just important information there to relay that to his T side. You know, now that APOC can clear down these angles, not really expecting an AWP, knowing that Gratisfaction is towards ramp. You see the way that they can clear the angles is completely different rather than if they were expecting an AWP down this spot. But Dick Stacey and Decon stairs, great damage there before. Another great trade there from Zeusy. Always coming up so clutch in these rounds, and it's a really important frag there to kind of create a lot more pressure as Destiny and his teammate drop down into the vent, and they've got to find an empty lower bomb site, and that Molotov there, perfect to shut Gratisfaction out of that lower site.
He's going to swing around the other way, though. Oh, double Molotov. That's well played from Tendermine's, making sure their sectors are all covered. And Greyhound, a lot of work to do, but Molotov's just being continually flung at Gratisfaction. They don't want him to have a way in, and Destiny will be able to tag him down a little bit more. Flashbangs, 4-on-4 after Yam, or 4-on-3, sorry, after Yam's able to hold into back of vents, and Destiny's going to find one before being traded out. This is going to have to be a save from the CTs, and Tainted Minds have done really, really well actually to get access to the B bomb site. That's textbook undertake.
Definitely perfectly split there off the back of that trade down. Good fundamentals by Zeusy there to be able to trade that down. Was perfectly positioned not to allow for Dick Stacey to kind of get that transfer on him and have that possibility to get that second frag, but just close enough that he's able to swing out and trade that down before Dick Stacey has a chance to run away. And Burn and Dexter are actually able to save the M4 and the AWP coming into this next round. It's going to enable them to have a buy here. Is this them having attack pause? I think it is. We haven't seen too many attack pauses out of the CT side. Again, no, it looks like it's a tainted one. So they really have been utilizing this in every single map, kind of having their attack pause. This might be one of those kind of mental block one, like, hey, look, we've got your number now, mate. Like, basically, you had you set up perfect, and we completely ripped it apart. Make them overthink kind of what they're doing, possibly, or Ferg just wanted a chance to have a talk to them, talk to the boys about something that he's seen.
I think it's important as well. I mean, they're in the lead, but this is probably the most instrumental round. Someone's going to be keeping track of money, and I think Tainted Minds know that Greyhound are on the ropes. They must know it's like this is the critical round. If they're able to, you know, push past this barrier, then Nuke is really right for theirs for the taking. They're looking at a real opportunity to closing out the series 2-0. And imagine that, Tainted Minds coming down from the lower bracket after being knocked out earlier on. Really close series with Greyhound, the ultimate revenge, where they can take not only one, but two best of threes to prove they are absolutely the more dominant team. Now, at this stage, it's kind of like, you know, a 50-50 split. Greyhound were better in the first series, 10 were better in the second series. Whoever makes their mark right now, I think are really pushing for the title of the best team in Australia and New Zealand.
I think I completely agree with the Chiefs being absent for many a months of late. And Tainted, really, if they can string together two LAN victories in a way in such a dominant fashion coming through the lower bracket, as Gratisfaction says, hell no, we still are in with the shake of the source portal for one of the best teams in Australia, but Yeah, it'd be definitely a great sign for him as Yam. Important kill there onto Dexter. Can't open up this top side, and that player Urcast on that bomb side is so awkward there. He only gets one before getting traded out, and great frag there for Yam to enable them to be onto this top side.
Yeah, that's a really good grenade as well. Destiny takes a little bit more damage. He's going to swing on Dick Stacey, but loses the deal. Does some more damage. 3 on 2. The grenades will slowly burn away, but there's 2 Molotovs to keep them trapped. There's Yam using his first one. And Offnoon just going to be staying hidden, just playing sneaky beaky like. They don't know where he is, and the flashbangs allow him to peek. Oh, that's a perfect flashbang coming out from Yam, and a perfect swing from Offnoon. That is absolutely vintage and Tainted Minds. 2 rounds away from stealing Greyhound's map pick.
And you just heard how much that meant to him. Absolutely every single one of them was getting fired up behind the back of that. Incredible teamwork there. You even saw Burn was fully blind there in Annex. All 3 players full white from that flash, and that's great teamwork. That's stuff that you can't. That's when you talk about teamwork. You know, that's. He doesn't need to do anything special there. It was easy kills from Offnoon off the back of his teammate. Didn't even see through the flash, but unsung hero. They won them that round. So clutch there to put Greyhound onto an eco. Going to give Tainted match point if everything goes to plan. But we did see earlier on that eco round, they did seem to struggle.
There's not much investment from Greyhound this time around, and Tainted Minds, as long as they put their brains into utilizing it together, they just swing and go as a unit. I don't think Greyhound can stop them from reaching the map point. And Dexter is going to be found out. Zuzi is checking everything right now. Reading his ex-teammate like a book. And Destiny spraying down is eventually collapsed on. And APOC just got to stay alive. He can take down Gratisfaction. And Dick Stacey trapped in Squeaky. Easy, easy kill. And Burn last man left standing, making a lot of noise. And APOC is just going to gobble it up. He finds it too easy. And Tainted Minds, map point on map number 1. You didn't expect this on Nuke. And they've been winning Inferno twice now. They're actually in really good shape to close it out, 2-0.
Definitely. I think
maybe I'm going a little bit too early on Nuke, but 15-10, I mean, they have taken 3 buy rounds. 3 buy rounds on this Nuke game.
I feel like this would be heartbreaking for the side of Greyhounds. For them to be, having that pocket pick of Nuke, it had been banned for so long, for them to whip it out and kind of lose it. And what is a pretty clinical faction, really. I think that on the gun rounds, in a majority of times, Tainted have looked the much stronger team, even though it's Greyhound's pick. So I think this would be very crippling. Coming into Inferno, I think that they definitely needed to close this one out. And, my pick had originally been a 2-0 for Greyhound, but maybe this is too big of a mountain to climb against the experience of the Tainted Minds squad. But, they're not done and dusted just yet. They still have a possibility to bring this one to overtime and possibly grind their way back into this map.
Tainted Minds just taking their time. They know that this is a crucial round, not only just because they can close it out, but if they do give Greyhound a little bit of momentum, we can see how quick Nuke can swing, especially for the CT side. Destiny, always such a nuisance at Squeaky, and Dick Stacey is going to break the vent and drop down. Going to be meeting it with his teammates just to make sure the unders is clear, but this is a severe danger because if you take back vent, it's very easy to go down. It's very, very difficult to come up. And if Tainted Minds are able to exploit this, it could be a different story. And Burn, he's been pressured very heavily so far. And Yam, unable to get the headshot. Burn's just going to fall back. He's got teammates to work with, so he doesn't have to worry too hard. Just get Dexter nearly caught out with the incendiary grenade, but Burn can't make it through control at the same time. Dexter will get the one trade. Got a 4-on-4 to determine Greyhound's fate. APOC can't land the spray. Dexter, another kill the Silent Stand 4. Zuzi's going to come and try his hand at shutting down Dexter. Bomb's going to be very, very open for Tainted Minds to play. They may have the numbers deficit for now, but Dick Stacey is going to chime in. So is Dexter. 3 kills. An absolutely critical round in Destiny. Last man left standing. Can't get the spray down. Greyhounds, another round in their favor. 11-15.
Greyhounds counting their blessings there after what was a pretty shaky little round there after Burn wasn't able to get any damage across and was actually taken down for no kills, and Dexter letting that player cross secret before he even had a chance to shoot at him. So good recovery there from Greyhound. Really important battle there from APOC and Dexter at Decon door. If APOC was able to close down that fight and take down Dexter, it could have been a completely different round there for Tainted Minds. But nerves are still there for Greyhound to continue to fight their way out onto on Nuke. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean 4 buy rounds on Nuke for the CT side. It's definitely doable. It's probably one of the most advantageous positions to be actually playing out a deficit on the CT side with all your guns up.
Definitely. It's very similar to Overpass in that sense, where it feels like that last hurdle is so hard to climb, you know. At that point, you've kind of tried all your strategies, but APOC and Zeus, you just open up the map, put it into a 5v3, but it's a very hard map to close out, and when that CT side is ploughing, it can be very strong, but,
but the
Tainted
T side is
don't
plowing.
care.
And Dick Stacey is going to be surrounded. This is clean from Tainted Minds. They've utilized the aim so well. Burn's going to be the last man left standing, and Tainted Minds take a bow, because taking nuke, your enemy's map pick, absolutely critical. Oh my goodness, Yam almost swinging just at the right time. Flashbang, Burn knows he needs to move quick, but there's so many members looking at him. He's got another kill, but he's taking a lot of damage. Just one member needs to put a single bullet in him, and it's going to be Offner that's been given the privilege. 16-11, Tainted Minds. They're on a roll right now. They know they're one map away from taking the finals. Let's jump back to Jordan, Ian, and Molly to see what they think of Nuke.
What a sweep it would be if Tainted Minds would come back from the lower bracket to come here and take out Greyhound Gaming. Nuke goes the way of Tainted Minds. It was Greyhound's map pick. Is that the straw that breaks the camel's back?
Well, we said yesterday